Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Conversations Are My Thing. I am, of course, your host, Trini Jackson, and I'm really excited about the topic that we're going to be discussing today. Of course, I'm always excited, but this is something that I was really thinking about heavily last night, and I was literally just scrolling on TikTok, and I saw a video that was basically saying, post your content. That I'm not going to get deep into what she was saying, but the premise of the video was post your content, and I was actually actively avoiding making this video. I was like, okay, this is my sign to just go ahead and make it so I can post my content. So I've been seeing recently like a whole bunch of influencers posting, the reality of being an influencer. Like, oh, everybody wants to do it, but no one talks about, the time management, how to balance school, work, and doing this, that, and the third. And, you work harder for these companies and whatever the case may be. And just basically giving like the reality of what it's like for them to be an influencer. Now, mind you, I'm no, 300 million followers type situation yet. Okay, it's coming soon, but I'm still like relatively new into even making content at the level that I'm making it, the consistency and having supporters the way I do. You know who you are. But as I was even watching the video, I was just like, I kind of see where they're coming from, but these are like the first thoughts that came to mind, and I just wanted to share it. Maybe if you agree, you agree. If you don't, you don't. Let me switch pillows. Pull up. I want to get my good pillow. Okay, got all cozy so we can get into this. So first things first, I think that through like the internet age and social media, influencing, like the concept of influencing just feels so watered down. I first learned about influence just through John C. Maxwell. He's a leadership coach basically, but he always said leadership is influence. Leadership is influence. And I feel like anyone who's ever met someone in person is like, oh my gosh, they seem so great online. I meet them in person and there's terrible. I feel like that's because they can influence you to buy something, they can influence you to do something, but in reality they're not that great of a person. I feel like all the people that I admire and I follow are individuals who I feel like if I met them in person, they would be better in person, or they'd be just like who they say they are online, with no differences. Libby Christensen is a great example. She's super bubbly. She's super fun. She just makes this all look enjoyable. I really believe that she is a kind and genuine, caring person in real life. And there's some, I don't know, I can't really give an example because I only follow people who I feel like I could vibe with, like I could meet them and we could be cool. So, I mean, yeah, I can't even really give you an example of someone who I believe is probably like putting on a facade of who they are. But I feel like through this age of who we consider influencers, we forget that there are people that can influence you in the right way and should influence you, but it's not everybody, right? Not everybody. And as I was watching these videos, people like, not saying they were complaining or anything. That's really not what it is. They were just giving like perspective on what the real life experience is as someone who was going out there and creating content for brands at scale. And I was just kind of like a couple of things. Well, first, not everybody wants to do this. And that's just a fact. I think everybody considers that there's like, oh, it's just all oversaturated. When in reality, there is a surplus of individuals who will watch the videos that you're putting out. There is no shortage. There is no scarcity in the marketplace. I hate when people try to put it out that way. When I got into this fitness thing, I realized I'm learning about brands that I've never heard of. GBT and NACA, Civil Regime. And I'm like, dang, I never heard of any of these brands or companies or anything. I always thought, when I thought fitness, I was thinking Nike, Adidas. Nike and Adidas. Two major, that's all I was thinking. I wasn't thinking about anything else. So now as I get into it and I see all these tiny little brands, and I'm also going, not tiny, but all these different brands, well, smaller than Nike and Adidas. Different brands, all with the same concept of people that are finding influencers to come and market their product. Or maybe they were influencers and now they've created their own brand. Like, there's no scarcity. You can put out content, you could put out a clothing brand, you can put out a YouTube, you can do it because there's people that will be a fan of you and be a fan of everybody else. You don't have to just people. I don't know why people act like there can only be one favorite. Like, oh, I like Libby Christensen, but I also like Leanna Deeb. Very simple. I like Libby Christensen, but I also like Court. All right. And it's not like there can only be one or the other. You can like two people. People are going to like you and like somebody else. They're going to enjoy your content and another person's. People act like, well, let me say this. I don't like when individuals say there's so much competition because yes, there is. But at the same time, there's not. There are new people getting involved in your niche on a daily basis. New people getting interested in the things that you post about on a daily basis that are looking for people that are already talking about it. And when people say, oh, everyone wants to be an influencer, simply just not true. Everyone doesn't even like talking to individuals. They don't like making content. They would rather watch. In life, there will always be one of the two. You are a leader or you are a follower. There's nothing wrong with being either. It is about feeling what is comfortable, what is most comfortable to you, and what is most aligned with the kind of person you are. That's simply what it is. Not everyone wants to be an influencer. Some people truly just like to watch videos on TikTok. They don't even want to make a username. They want to be behind the scenes. They want to live their life in person, and that is okay. There is really no scarcity. If a new influencer came out every single day, which honestly they probably do, and they're looking to change their life because this is a life-changing opportunity, to keep it a stack. That's why I saw one guy, I don't remember what his page was, but he was like, he finally stitched the video. He said, I'm going to play devil's advocate. And he was basically talking about why he would rather be an influencer than doing anything else. He said, I woke up today with no alarm. I woke up whenever I wanted to. I can go travel wherever I want to. I can make my business wherever I want to make it. I meet people. I can get brands to send me things for free just because of the influence I have over other individuals. I made a podcast and I've actually helped people through the podcast. And that's why I liked his video, because he got to the point where he was talking about how he likes helping other people. Real leaders are real influencers and they really make an impact, point blank period. I feel like anytime you meet someone in person that's not who they seem like online, that is not an influencer. That is a person that can make themselves look good on social media. Leadership is influence. I always pride myself on the fact that I am exactly who I say I am online, but also on the fact that I would never tell you to do something I would not do. I encourage people to go out and pick up their tripod if they want to and make videos, because that's what I do. And I like to show videos of me dancing and enjoying myself in the gym, to show that of course it is a fun experience and the gym should be fun. Everybody trying to make it seem like you got to go in the gym super hardcore, super straight face, and you can't even crack as much of a smile. You don't want to dance. You don't want to be that guy. I don't get it, because it won't be fun to me. I want people to feel comfortable being who they are 100% of the time. And if that's dancing for me in the middle of the gym, it is. I'm not going to tell you to go do it if I wasn't comfortable doing it. These little things, I wouldn't tell you to go talk to random strangers in the gym and make friends if I wasn't comfortable doing it. So I think that this facade that some people put on is really interesting, and I've seen some other individuals talk about how creators get burnt out, and I just can't understand that. I couldn't grasp that concept, because I said the only reason you can get burnt out is if you were making content that is not true to who you are, and now you feel like you've been putting on this mask for so long, you don't want to do it anymore. You don't want to seem like you're this person when you know you're not. You want to be who you really are when you should have been who you really are from the jump. I really truly feel like the people that are who they say they are through and through do not get burnt out making content, because they're just simply putting the camera in front of the natural things they're doing. I've been going to the gym. I've been dancing. I've been enjoying myself in the gym. This is all I did was start recording it and showing y'all. This is not a new thing for me. And I feel like the individuals that simply are, oh, I'm already doing this, I'm just showing you. The dog trainers. I love Eric and Capri the pup, because Eric and Capri were already dog trainers. They were already doing what they were doing. He simply started showing you what he's doing. And if y'all know them, it's okay. It's fine. I definitely recommend Googling them if you have a dog, because he's helped me and Koda a lot, whether he realizes it or not. But it's simply like, oh, I was already doing this. I was already gonna cook. I was already gonna go to the gym. I was already gonna travel. I was already gonna blah, 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 blah. I'm just gonna show you now. Those are the creators that I feel like you don't get burnt out because you're simply living your life with a camera in front of you. But even if the camera wasn't there, you'd still be living your life. If the camera wasn't there, and when the camera wasn't there, I was still going to the gym. And if anyone that ever went to the gym and saw me in the gym knows that when I'm in my headphones, I'm in my zone. I'm just doing what I'm doing, but I'm showing y'all too. So you can feel encouraged that you can go to the gym and do what you want to do and feel comfortable knowing that nobody is going to be judging you. And if they are judging you, that's their problem, not yours. I just liked his video that spoke on the positives, because I'm like, yeah, at the end of the day, it's like what they say, being rich is hard, being poor is hard. Choose your hard. If you want to do the influencer thing and you want to get paid and you want to make money doing it and you want to be your own business, you got to understand people are going to hold you to a certain level of, expectations. You know how it is whenever you see someone that, local, so-and-so caught doing this. Like, now all your life is broadcasted. If you're DMing someone and you're in a relationship, you're going to get caught twice as fast because people know you. It's like you're now on, not a pedestal, but you're in the public eye and you're up. You have like a certain amount of scrutiny. That's why I think there's a certain amount of scrutiny. There's a certain amount of scrutiny you're going to face just by taking the step to put yourself in the public eye and knowing that there are going to be people that are watching you, that are going to be looking at you, whether you know it or not, that, are going to be seeing, are you really the person you say you are? You feel me? So I think that it is like, okay, there are pros and cons in terms of that, but real leaders do not mind having the extra responsibility of being the person that people can look to and say, you know what, if so-and-so did that, I would do it. If so-and-so says I can do it, I believe I can. Because some people just need someone to follow. But just because they're following Libby, and just because they're following Leanna, and just because they're following Court, and just because they're following me, which they should be, doesn't mean they can't follow you too. Honestly, people follow thousands of individuals on a daily basis. They like multiple pieces of content. People own Alpha Elite, Gymshark, GBT, and Inaka all in one closet. There is no scarcity. There is like the option that, okay, they'll buy this instead of this, or they'll watch them instead of me, but you have to think in terms of abundance. And I think that's the only reason I came to start making more content and putting more videos out, is because I think in terms of abundance. I truly believe that the people that watch me will like watching other people and will find other people to watch, but they will still be able to enjoy watching me at the same time. It is very much possible to like this individual and to like that person and not to feel like you have to choose. Not everything is a big choice. The reason TikTok is so poppin' and the reason it's popular is because there are new people feeling comfortable to create on a daily basis. Everybody should be able to create around what they are passionate about and get the chance to change their lives as well, because everybody knows that this has changed lives. We saw what happened with Vine. I know Wolf Tyler. I remember watching Wolf Tyler. She's a singer. But I remember when she was making skits and funny videos, and she was able to take those funny videos that she was making and turn it into a music career, because now she had the, influence of the individuals who were watching her. There was another big one. I remember I saw him in a Sprite commercial. Dang, I forgot his name. But I remember when Vine was popping. So for us to see that happened and to realize how serious it was and be like, dang, I missed my chance back then. Oh, well, now TikTok's around, but oh my gosh, I'm too late. Oh, no one's gonna watch me. Oh, there's too many influencers already posting about what I'm posting about. There's so many people already doing what I'm doing. Doesn't matter. The one thing that you have to remember is that if you aren't doing it yet, then they still do not have the value that you can add to the marketplace, the creativity that you can add to the marketplace. If you have not started putting out content around what you are interested in, then the marketplace still needs you. The For You page is still waiting on you. They are still going to watch your video, whether you get like 100 videos, 100 likes, or 10 views. It doesn't matter. Really doesn't matter. One thing I had to stop doing is comparing myself to other people, because comparison is the thief of all joy. Honestly, it's so crazy because I literally, as I said, I saw a TikTok before this that said, post your content. And that was honestly exactly what I needed to hear, because just last night I was looking at some other, upcoming influencers that have like around the same amount of followers I had, like 40,000, 50,000, so on and so forth. And I was looking at their page. I was like, dang, do I post too much? Like, I think I post too much. Like, I always have these ideas. And since I have 2 phones, one of them is dedicated strictly to editing, but it also gets full very fast. So as soon as I have a video, I honestly like to edit it and get it out so I can clear the space and get ready to record another. And I'm also recording every single day. I record every day. I genuinely love making videos. I like making content, and it's hard for me not to find an opportunity to record because, as I said, I get a new idea every day. It's allowed my creativity to literally run rampant. And I was watching some of the other pages. I said, dang, I think I post too much. Like, maybe I post too much. I might be doing too much. But then I remember, Gary Vee. He's someone who goes out of his way to post like 50 to 60 times a day across different platforms. Like, he'll post 4 times on Instagram, then he posts on his Instagram story, then he posts on TikTok, then he posts on his TikTok story, he posts on Twitter and LinkedIn and Pinterest and YouTube Shorts, all in the span of a day, because he understands the importance of, if you are always on their timeline, at the end of the day, you have front of mind awareness. So when people are thinking, oh, what videos, I don't know, people are thinking of what they're thinking about that is involved with your niche. If you're the person they see on their timeline the most, they will 9 times out of 10 have front of mind awareness and think of you when the time comes. So that made me feel better. And then Libby Christensen posts a lot of videos. I'm like, dang, Libby posts a lot. She posts like 4 or 5 times yesterday. That's fine. That's cool. Maybe I'm just like Libby. Maybe I'm more like Libby than I am like these other people. And I'm not. And then I had to realize, Trini, you're not like Libby. You're Trinity Jackson. You like Libby's content. I cannot stop mentioning her because I just genuinely know one day I'm going to meet her in person and we're actually going to be cool, because she literally looks like someone I can hang out with. She looks like someone that if I met her in the gym outside of everything that we do, like, she would be cool as hell. So that's just like why I keep mentioning Libby. But I had to get to the point where I was like, you know what? That is not relevant to you. How I make my content and what I put out and how often I want to put it out is up to me, and it's for me to decide, point blank, period. It is not for me to compare myself to other people and what would so-and-so do in this situation, or, oh, they made this, maybe I should make that. Whatever the case may be, you got to get to the point where you're not comparing yourself, because nobody is bringing to the table what you're bringing to the table. You have to just post your content. If you want to do this and you really want to make it happen for yourself, which you can, you have to realize TikTok is going to fade as everything fades eventually. Remember when Facebook was jumping? I was barely on it. I don't even remember when Facebook was jumping. I was a child. I remember when Instagram was jumping. I remember when YouTube still jumps, honestly, in my opinion. But for you to miss this wave because you think that there are too many people creating around what you're creating around just is ridiculous. There is a surplus of individuals that are on these apps every single day that are looking for people to follow, that are looking for someone to inspire and encourage and motivate them. There is no scarcity when it comes to this, and you have to realize that. And the sooner you realize that, the more comfortable you'll be really being your true self and sharing yourself with the world, sharing your creativity, sharing your ideas, and so forth. So I want to thank you all for listening. I appreciate it. I am also working on getting around the idea of not posting my content. So me making these podcasts on a consistent basis is literally one of my main focuses right now, because I literally have to make it, edit the YouTube video, clip it down to an example reel, and then delete it and move on to the next day with new ideas. So if you're listening, I want you to know that you are appreciated, and I cannot wait to see what each and every single one of you come out with, because everybody has the ability and the potential to create something in this world, and you should take advantage of that. Kisses.